All right, so are you ready to unlock some serious potential? You guys sent us a bunch of summaries of Robin Sharma's The 5 a.m. Club, and wow, there are a lot of really interesting ideas in there. So today we're going to do a deep dive with you all, ready to dig up those gems that you can actually use to transform your life.
Yeah, I'm really excited to dig in. I mean, this book really goes beyond your typical self-help stuff. The way Sharma presents it as a story, almost like one of those old fables, but set in the modern day, it's really captivating.
Oh, I totally agree. It's not like he's just saying wake up at 5. He's like showing you way you should through the characters, and them going through this journey.
Right.
And speaking of journeys, this book starts out with a pretty intense one.
Yeah.
I mean, we meet this entrepreneur and he has hit rock bottom. He's actually like thinking about suicide. It was
Yeah.
kind of a jarring way to start the book, but it really grabs your attention.
It does. And I think it was really smart of Sharma to start it that way because it shows us this truth. Even people who seem to have it all, they can still struggle. Like a lot. We all need some kind of guidance, a path forward, especially when we're going through those tough times. This character's desperation, it really sets the stage for this powerful transformation, and that's what makes it so relatable.
Okay, so we've got this entrepreneur who is in crisis. And then, like something out of a movie, in comes the spellbinder.
Yeah.
He's this larger-than-life mentor, and he just starts dropping all this wisdom,
Hmm.
you know, talking about being your best and becoming elite. There's this one line that I absolutely loved. He says, "Life's too short to play small with your talents."
That's a good one. It's like he's telling us to step up, be great, stop settling. I mean, we all have unique talents, gifts, and this book wants us to go all in on those.
For sure.
Mm.
But how do we actually do that? How do we go from feeling lost and like kind of blah
Mm.
to living this like legendary life?
Well, that's where the magic of a 5 a.m. club comes in. And it's not even just about the time, although that is a big part of it. It's about putting together this morning routine, something that sets you up for success, a routine that lets you tap into your potential before the whole world starts demanding your attention.
Okay, this is interesting. Tell me more about this routine.
Okay, so remember Stone Riley, the homeless guy we meet at the beginning?
Right.
Well, he actually turns out to be a really important mentor in the book. He's a big believer in getting up early.
Mm-hmm.
And he guides the entrepreneur and this struggling artist, shows them how to make this morning routine that boosts their energy, makes them more productive, and, really helps them master themselves.
So it's about creating a plan so you can be in control of your day before it controls you.
Exactly. Instead of waking up and immediately checking email, stressing about deadlines, you spend those first few hours on yourself and growing as a person. And that's where the 20-20-20 formula comes in. Sharma talks about this in chapters 8 and 13.
Yes. The 20-20-20 formula. What does it all mean?
So it's about using that hour, that time between 5 and 6 a.m. the best way possible.
Yeah.
You split it up into 3 20-minute chunks.
Okay.
First, you've got 20 minutes of intense exercise, really get your body going. Then 20 minutes of reflection, whether that's meditating or just sitting quietly to find some inner peace and focus. And lastly, 20 minutes for growth, maybe read something, learn something new, work on yourself.
Okay, I have to admit, working out hard at 5 in the morning sounds awful.
Mhm.
But I get the idea. Getting your mind and body ready for a productive day.
Exactly. Get that
Yeah.
blood pumping, feel good, and shake off any sleepiness. But Sharma isn't saying you have to become a fitness nut right away.
Okay, good.
Start small, maybe a quick walk or some yoga, then slowly increase the intensity as you get stronger.
I like that. Finding what works and building it up over time. So we've got the exercise, but what about the reflection part? I feel like that's really important for setting the right tone for the whole day.
Oh, absolutely. And Sharma gives us some great advice for this. He suggests stuff like mindfulness meditation, where you just focus on breathing and watch your thoughts go by without judging them. You could also do some gratitude exercises, like list things you're thankful for. Or maybe you like journaling, using those quiet moments to process your emotions and get some clarity.
I can already feel the stress going away. Just a few minutes of focused reflection can make such a huge difference. But what about those last 20 minutes, the growth time? What are some practical things we can do to use that time well?
Think of this time as investing in yourself. Sharma wants you to read books that inspire you, listen to podcasts that teach you something new, or take online courses that help you improve your skills.
Okay.
It's all about choosing content that lines up with your goals, both personal and professional, so you're actively working toward that life you want.
I love that. It's like starting your day with a mental boost. But let's be real, building new habits, especially something like this 5 a.m. routine, it takes dedication.
Oh, you're absolutely right. That's why Sharma talks about this 66-day minimum. It's this science-backed idea that it takes at least 66 days to really make a new habit stick. He's not going to lie and say it's easy, but he does give us this great framework to make it happen.
Okay, tell me about
He calls it the habit installation protocol, and it breaks down the whole process into steps you can actually manage.
it. Okay.
Like finding a clear trigger, setting up a consistent routine, rewarding yourself, and just repeating until you master it. It sounds simple, but it's powerful if you actually do it consistently.
So we're going from just thinking about this to actually doing it. It's about taking action.
Exactly.
But before we get into all the specifics of this habit installation protocol, let's take a minute to hear a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back to talk about how to make these early mornings work for you.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the 5 a.m. Club.
So before we took a break, we were talking about how to make a new routine really stick and Sharma's 66-day minimum, how that plays into it.
Yeah, definitely. It takes commitment to make a change like this.
And while 66 days might sound a bit scary, Sharma gives us this really helpful framework.
Right.
He calls it the habit installation protocol. This is the part I'm really excited to talk about because I think a lot of people struggle with this. We love the idea of changing our lives, but actually doing it, that's a whole other thing.
I totally agree. And the habit installation protocol, he talks about it in chapter 12. It's all about bridging that gap. It's about creating a system that helps you reach your goals. You know, something that makes it easier to keep going with the 5 a.m. Club, even when you're not feeling super motivated.
Okay, so how does it work? What are the pieces of this protocol?
So the first thing is to find a trigger, something that gets you going, something that kickstarts your routine. For the 5 a.m. Club, a good trigger could be as simple as putting your alarm clock across the room.
Oh, yeah. So you have to get out of bed to turn it off.
Exactly. That way you're not tempted to hit snooze and fall back asleep. It's like you're tricking yourself into getting up.
That's clever. So once you're actually up, what's next?
Then it's about setting up a consistent routine. This is what you do every morning, the backbone of your 5 a.m. routine.
Okay.
So for us, it would be the 20-20-20 formula. 20 minutes of exercise, 20 minutes of reflection, 20 minutes of growth. The important thing is to make this routine automatic, so you don't have to waste energy trying to decide what to do next.
It's like creating a flow, something that just happens naturally.
Right.
But I think we all know that even with the best intentions, we need some extra motivation sometimes.
Oh, for sure.
And that's where rewards come in. Right?
Absolutely. Rewards help you stick with it.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be anything big. Maybe it's enjoying a cup of coffee while you read, or listening to your favorite podcast during your workout.
Yeah.
Or just that feeling of accomplishment, like, I did it. I started my day strong.
Right. It's about those small things that make you happy and connecting them to your new routine.
Exactly. But here's the thing about forming habits. You can't just do it once. It's about showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it. And that's where repetition comes in. That's the last part of the habit installation protocol.
So it's not all about willpower then. It's about creating a system that helps you repeat the behavior until it becomes automatic.
You got it.
Yeah.
Willpower, it can only take you so far. But consistency, that's about building systems that help you reach your goals. The more you do something, the more natural it becomes. It's like making a new path in your brain, and every time you repeat it, that path gets smoother and easier to follow.
This is really making me think differently about how I try to build habits. I've always been so focused on just forcing myself to do things.
Yeah.
But it sounds like consistency is the real key.
It is.
It's about building that momentum over time.
And, remember those 7 virtues of the heroic human we talked about earlier?
Oh, yeah.
Bravery, forgiveness, integrity, all those.
The ones Sharma says are so important for people who want to change the world.
Well, you know what? Building good habits, it actually reflects those virtues. It takes courage to step out of your comfort zone, discipline to stick with it, and humility to know that growth takes time. By doing this 5 a.m. Club thing, you're not just creating a new routine, you're developing those virtues in yourself.
I love how that all connects. It's like the 5 a.m. Club is training you to be a better person, inside and out.
Yeah.
But before we go too far down that road, we need to talk about sleep. I mean, we're talking about waking up at 5 a.m.
Right.
Don't we need enough sleep to really be at our best?
You're bringing up a really important point. Sharma actually have a whole chapter 14, called The Essentialism of Sleep, just about this. He's super clear that sleep is not something you can skip if you're serious about reaching your full potential.
Yep.
He even calls sleep the most potent performance enhancer we know of.
Wow. Okay. So How do we make waking up early work with getting enough sleep? It seems impossible.
It's not about staying up all night and then waking up early. It's about shifting your whole sleep schedule so you can go to bed earlier and still get those 7 to 9 hours of sleep.
Okay, that makes sense. But for me, and probably a lot of people, that means changing my whole evening routine. I'm a total night owl, so the idea of going to bed early feels so weird.
I get it. It's tough, especially with how busy our lives are and how much we're all connected.
Yeah.
But think about it this way. Sleep isn't a luxury. It's like an investment in your health, your productivity, your happiness. Sharma actually says that not getting enough sleep sabotages everything you're trying to do.
Oh, yeah.
It makes you less focused, less energetic, and more stressed.
He's right. I've definitely noticed that when I'm well rested, I can think better and I'm more creative.
Yeah.
It's like my brain has had time to recharge and process everything.
Exactly. When you make sleep a priority, you're setting yourself up for success in all areas of your life. And combining good sleep with a powerful morning routine, that's like a superpower combo. It boosts both your body and your mind.
So it's not about giving up sleep to be productive. It's about finding that balance. It's about taking care of yourself so you can do your best.
That's it. It's about understanding that you can't give what you don't have. You need to fill up your energy tank with quality sleep so you can tackle your goals.
This is really changing how I think about sleep. I used to see it as something I could squeeze in if I had time. But maybe I need to start thinking about it as a key part of my success.
I think that's a really great shift in perspective. And remember, like with any new habit, it takes time and trying things out to find what works best for you. Start small, adjust your bedtime and evening routine a little bit at a time. You'll eventually find a sleep schedule that supports your 5 a.m. goals.
This has been so helpful. We talked about the habit installation protocol, the 66-day minimum, the importance of sleep, and even those heroic human virtues.
Yeah,
It's a lot to think about, but it feels like I'm getting the tools to really make changes.
me too. But before we move on to the last part of our deep dive, I want to highlight something really important. While the 5 a.m. club is great, it's not about following a bunch of rules.
Right.
It's about finding what works best for you. Play around with it. Adapt the ideas to your own life and preferences.
I love that. It's not one size fits all. It's about giving people the power to create a morning routine that helps them reach their own unique goals. It's about being in control of your morning and, in a way, your whole day.
You got it. It's about realizing that you have the power to make the life you want, and it starts with those first few hours of your day.
This has been amazing. We really dug into those practical strategies in the 5 a.m. Club, but we're not done yet. In part 3, we're going to talk about some of the more advanced ideas, like the 10 tactics of lifelong genius and the twin cycles of elite performance.
Yeah, get ready for even more insights to help you unlock your potential.
I can't wait. But for now, keep playing with those early mornings and see what makes them special for you. All right, welcome back to our deep dive into the 5 a.m. Club. So in this last part, we're going to explore some of the more, I guess you could say, advanced concepts, stuff that can really help you achieve long-term success.
Yeah, exactly. We've talked about the morning routine, how to build habits, and making sleep a priority. Now let's give you some really powerful tools, not just to be successful, but to keep that success going.
I like it. And you know what? Those 10 tactics of lifelong geniuses that Sharma talks about in Chapter 15, those really stand out to me. It sounds like a recipe for, well, genius.
It is. And remember how these tactics are woven into the story itself, like the entrepreneur and the artist. They get this wedding gift from Stone Riley.
Oh, yeah.
It's a painting, but it secretly reveals these tactics. It's like Sharma showing us that learning and growing, it's a lifelong thing.
It's all about those hidden messages, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay, enough teasing. What are these genius tactics?
Okay, let's break it down. The first one is called the tight bubble of total focus, or TBTF for short.
TBTF. I like it.
It's all about creating these blocks of time where you can really focus on your work, no distractions. That's how you maximize your productivity.
I love that. I mean, think about it. These days, we're always connected, right? There are notifications, emails, all these demands from the digital world.
Right.
It's so easy to get pulled in a million different directions.
You said it. The TBTF is about taking back control of your attention and using it for the most important tasks.
Okay.
Like imagine finding a quiet spot, silencing your phone, closing all those extra tabs on your computer, and setting a timer for a focused work session. You'd be amazed at what you can get done when you get rid of all those distractions and just dive into your work.
It's like creating a peaceful space for your mind,
Yeah.
a space where you can do your best work. I'm already feeling calmer just thinking about it. So what's next on the list?
All right, the next one is a little tougher, but if you can master it, it's super powerful. The 9901 rule.
Whoa, 90901. That sounds intense.
It is. For 90 days straight, you spend the first 90 minutes of your workday on your most important task. The one thing that will make the biggest difference in your work or your personal life.
90 days.
Yeah.
That's dedication. But I can see how it would lead to some big breakthroughs. Like if you're constantly putting energy into the most important thing, you're going to see results.
Exactly. It's about choosing what matters most and focusing your energy there. That one task, it becomes non-negotiable, a crucial part of your daily routine.
All right, I'm writing this one down. What else is in this genius toolkit?
Okay, we can't forget the 60-10 method. This is all about working in focused bursts. You work hard for 60 minutes, then take a 10-minute break to rest and recharge.
I like that.
You can do this throughout the day to keep your energy levels up and avoid burnout.
This is so important. We need to remember that rest is not a bad thing. It actually helps us be more productive. We push ourselves so hard sometimes without giving our minds and bodies a chance to recover.
Right. It's like running a marathon. You wouldn't sprint the whole way, would you? No way.
You pace yourself, take breaks to refuel and catch your breath. The 60-10 method, it's the same idea for your workday. You can work at your best without burning out.
Smart. So we've got focused work blocks, prioritizing the most important tasks, and scheduled breaks. What other genius tactics does Sharma have?
The next one is the daily 5 concept. This is about keeping your to-do list simple. Each day, you pick the 5 most important things you need to get done.
Okay.
By focusing on just those 5, you make sure you're making progress on the stuff that really matters.
I like how simple that is. It's easy to get overwhelmed with these huge to-do lists. This forces you to focus on your main goals.
Exactly. And remember, these tactics all work together. Imagine using the daily 5 concept with the 9-to-9-to-1 rule.
Oh, wow.
You could spend your first 90 minutes tackling the top item on your daily 5 list. Talk about a productive start to your day.
That's how you get things done. But Sharma doesn't just focus on being mentally productive, right? He
Yep.
also talks about taking care of your physical health. You're right. He has tactics like the second wind workout. This is where you do a short burst of exercise in the afternoon to fight that midday slump and get your energy back up.
That's a great idea. I always hit that afternoon slump. I'm going
Okay.
to try that one.
I think you'll like it. And for those of you who are really pushing yourselves physically, there's the 2 massage protocol.
Okay, tell me more.
It's exactly what it sounds like. 2 massages a week to help your muscles recover and reduce stress.
Okay, now that's a genius tactic I can definitely get behind. But what about those of us who have trouble finding time for personal development? I mean, life gets busy.
Well, Sharma has a solution for that too. It's called Traffic University, and it's all about using those hours you spend in traffic or commuting to learn and grow.
Oh, interesting.
Instead of scrolling through your phone or listening to the radio, you can listen to audiobooks, podcasts, or even online courses. You know, stuff that teaches you something new and inspires you.
That's a great way to look at it. It's like turning those wasted hours into time for self-improvement. I definitely waste a lot of time on my commute, so I'm going to try that.
I think you'll be surprised how much you can learn when you make those little changes in your routine. And to finish up the 10 tactics, Sharma talks about building a dream team, a group of people who support you.
Okay.
He also suggests using a weekly design system to plan and reflect, and spending 60 minutes every day on personal development activities.
Wow, this is a whole toolkit for reaching your potential in every part of your life. These tactics are full of wisdom, and I love how they all connect back to the idea of intentional living, like making choices that align with your goals and what you believe in.
Exactly. It's about taking control of your life and creating a plan for success.
And speaking of plans, let's talk about those twin cycles of elite performance we mentioned earlier. It sounds like something out of a superhero movie.
Haha, it does. But instead of superpowers, it's about understanding these 2 cycles that are essential for lasting success. The high excellence cycle and the deep refueling cycle.
Okay, I'm listening.
The high excellence cycle is about pushing your limits, setting big goals, working hard, and doing amazing work. It's about bringing your best to everything you do.
That sounds like the classic go-getter mindset, always striving for excellence.
You got it. But here's the thing. To keep performing at that high level, you need to balance it with the deep refueling cycle.
Okay.
This is where you prioritize rest, recovery, and taking care of yourself. It's about Giving your mind and body the time they need to recharge so they can come back even stronger.
So it's about finding that balance between pushing hard and allowing yourself to step back and recharge. It's like realizing that rest isn't a bad thing. It's actually part of being successful in the long run.
That's exactly it. Sharma uses this really cool analogy. Imagine a warrior sharpening their sword. They don't just keep swinging it, they take time to sharpen the blade so it's even more powerful for the next battle.
Wow, that's a really great way to put it. It shows that rest and recovery aren't just about pampering yourself. They're about making yourself ready for future challenges so you can be at your best when it matters most.
Exactly. It's about understanding that success isn't a straight line, it's a cycle. You need to find that rhythm of effort and recovery that works for you.
This deep dive into the 5 a.m. Club has been amazing. We've learned so much about how to be more productive, how to build habits that stick, how to live a life with purpose, and how to achieve success that lasts. I feel like I have a whole new set of tools and a fresh way of looking at my goals.
I'm so happy to hear that. And remember, you don't have to follow every single piece of advice exactly. Take what works for you, experiment a little, and find what fits best with your life and your goals.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up our deep dive into the 5 a.m. Club, I want to leave you with this. Imagine waking up every day feeling energized, focused, and ready to take on the world. The book gives you a plan, but you're the one who creates the journey. What choices are you going to make to unlock your amazing potential?
And until next time, keep those alarms set, keep learning, and keep dreaming big.